Good day, and welcome to another edition of the Military and Foreign Affairs Network. I'm your host, the voice of reason. So, in today's Horn of Africa update, I would define this as a special operational report. Uh, we are getting information in that the Tigrayan Defense Forces have officially severed the B30 Highway, the Bravo 30 Highway, and have seized control of at least two towns. First, the mid-sized town of Selikeleka, and then the town due to the east of Wukro. So, what is next for the Tigrayan Defense Forces? Will they move on Axum or will they move on Shire? Both of these towns, well, let me back up. The town of Shire now has to be supplied strictly from Ethiopia, from the Shire down to the Amhara regional border. And then obviously Axum is supplied through routes to the east near Adigrat via Eritrea and Ethiopia to the south. But again, as I had discussed in prior videos, this is how the conflict would resolve itself. We would continue to see the large logistical routes start to be severed. We would then see the collapse of the Ethiopian army, which I believe we are now seeing, and I hold firm to that July estimate that we would indeed see the total collapse of the Ethiopian army as a operational unit, which would take its place. Again, would be some sort of Amhara regional militia that would be a substitute for it. But again, this is a fairly significant event in terms of these towns being seized and the highway being severed. It would also show you that the TDF is becoming more aggressive. There may not have been a large scale engagement for these two towns, and the defeat of keeping the B30 highway open, but it could be the issue that the Ethiopian army has just been beat in this area. They are worn out, they are stressed, their supply lines are stressed, and they've taken many casualties. So they're wishing to consolidate their forces in some of the larger towns. So I would assume that they are probably reinforcing Axum, but that could be on the agenda for the TDF to seize control of as we are speaking. But at the same time, we are also getting reports out of activities from the Oromo Liberation Army. Apparently, a senior federal police commander of the Ethiopian Armed Forces was eliminated in combat, and we're also receiving reports that Oromia regional police units are being detained because they are not complying with Addis Ababa edicts to engage the Oromo Liberation Army. So that is also a interesting topic that will continue to be covered as we are now seeing mutinies within the security apparatus of Ethiopia. And this is really how it all starts. This is how you see a collapse of state entities, state security apparatuses. And it starts usually with regional police and then follows by army units. And we are now seeing Army units leave areas contrary to commands and orders. The uh, the issue of leaving these towns along the B30 Highway uh, may not have come from Addis Ababa, but just the internal collapse of the Ethiopian and Eritrean armed forces operating in this area. But again, and I need to back up a little bit on that as well. A lot of these forces in the north are actually under the command of the Eritrean army. And at times when we say forces are vacating the B30 highway, or they're vacating these towns, we speak of both the Eritrean army and the Ethiopian army, because operationally they're almost becoming as one in certain areas, and especially the northern Tigray region. The Eritrean armed forces, I believe, had aspirations to possibly try and annex many of these areas. But again, they're under so much stress from the Tigrayan Defense Forces that they may not be able to hold on to many of these areas as they had anticipated. And we continue to hear about a serious and ongoing recruiting effort by the Tigrayan Defense Forces, which within 30 to 60 days after training, we should see the Tigrayan Defense Forces quite possibly double in operational size than what it was from today or a few weeks ago even. But we will keep an eye on the situation. I would anticipate a move either way towards Axum or Shire. But I believe that the complete seizure of all towns along the B30 highway is not currently out of the question. Thanks, everybody.